Welcome back friends. Today we are going to solve LeetCode problem 1582 minimum path sum 2. You might be already knowing that I often create LeetCode solution videos using Java J2E technologies as well as Java J2E interview related helpful material videos where we discuss like frequently asked questions, the Java concepts, and different coding solutions using different technologies like BFS, DFS, dynamic programming, and data structures and algorithm questions. So if you are someone who is either learning Java or you are preparing for Java coding interviews or phone interviews, then this channel is for you. So please subscribe to the channel and check out the different playlist I created. There are a lot of good stuff on the channel, so please subscribe. So let's look into the problem. So given an n by m matrix, each point has a weight. From the bottom left of the matrix to the top right, you can go in 4 directions. Let you find a path so that the path through the minimum sum of weights and return the minimum sum. So basically we have been given a n by m matrix and we have to return the minimum weight sum basically. So let's take one example over here where we can discuss how we can solve the problem. So let's say this is the input matrix that is given to us and we have to find out this is the start point, right? The bottom left corner, and our destination point is the top right corner, right? So we want to go from 1 to 4. So there are multiple paths you can go there, right? For example, if you to take this path, if you take this path, then you will get 1 plus 3 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 2 7, and 7 plus 4 is equal to 11, right? So you will get this 11 path. But if you take this path, let's say you go from 1 to this 1 and then 0 and then 1 and then 4, right? Then this path you will get 1 plus 1 2 plus 1 3 plus 4 7, right? 7. So this 7 is the minimum path in this matrix where you can go from this 1, which is the start point, and until this end point, right? 7 is the minimum path. So let me just revert this back. Okay, so now what we are going to do to solve the problem is we have been given let's say this original matrix is R rows and C columns, right? So we will create one helping matrix here called as a weight matrix, this one, and its size is also same as R by C, right? This weight matrix that we create, its size is R by C, and in the beginning our weight matrix all the cells will be infinity, right? So this one weight matrix I just created here, so this one all the cells will be marked as infinity in the beginning. So we are at this starting point, right? We are at this starting point 1. So we will just we are here, right? So we will just mark it as 1. So we have to now we can go into 4 directions, right? So we are going to use a DFS. So our approach will be DFS, right? Depth first search or depth first traversal, where we will be calling our DFS function recursively and we will pass our I and jth coordinate, right, of this matrix, and we have to visit these 4 directions. So if we are here, let's say we are at I or I comma jth cell, then we have to visit I minus 1 j, which is a up position, right? Then right position is I j plus 1, down position is I plus 1 j, and left position is I j minus 1. So we have to visit all these 4 cells, and we will try to find out if we can find out anything like minimum distance that we have seen. We will just update the distance as the minimum distance, right? And we will always keep checking if we don't want to go outside of the boundary of the matrix, right? So we will check that, and if we are inside of the boundary, then we will also make sure that before we update with the new sum value of the weight, then we want to make sure that we are updating only when we are seeing any less value than we had seen before, right? Then only it makes sense to update. So that is our approach. So we will just, let's say, from this one we will go in 4 directions. So let's say from this one, if I want to go here, then it will be the minimum distance, let's say I updated here as 4, let's say, right? 4 is the minimum distance I updated. And if I want to go here, the minimum distance I updated is 1 plus 1 2, right? Means this 1 plus this 1 is 2 and 1 plus 3 is 4 we updated, let's say, right? Now we are at this 2. Now we will try to go again in 4 directions. So if I want to go here, then I will just go 2 plus 0. So distance to reach this cell will also be 2 now, right? And if I want to go here, the distance to reach this cell will be 3, right? So it is 3. And we will also do the same thing with this 4. So we will go in 4 directions. So distance to reach here will be 4 plus 1, because this 1 we will add into 4. So it is 5 now here for this cell. And for this cell, okay, so now we will consider now these 2 and these 3, right? We will again go into 4 directions. Let's say we are considering these 2. So when we are going here, then 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4, right? So we will just write 4 here. And when we are considering these 2, then this 2 plus 1 we will just write 3 here, correct? So 3 here. And now we will consider these 3, and we want to, let's say, go in 4 directions, right? Left, right, up and bottom. So bottom is outside. So left side if you go, then you let's say 3, we are here with 3. So 3 plus 1 4. So we will not update because we already are seeing lesser distance, right? 2 we are seeing. So with 4 we will not update. If we want to go up, then we will get this 3 plus this 1 distance, right? This one. So 3 plus 1 4. So we will not update because we are already seeing minimum distance which is lesser than 4, right? So we will not update. So that's how the DFS will work, right? So we will only update if we are getting a better result or better minimum weight, basically. Then only we will update, right, in DFS. So now we are here. So we will now consider, let's say we are here, right? Then we will again try to go 4 directions. So we will, let's say, when we are going right from here, then we will get 4 plus 4 we will get. So we will, let's say, having 8 here, 4 plus 4. When you go down here, then you get 4 here. So we will not update because 2 we already have a 2 here, right? So we will not update anything. If we are going on the left side, if you are going left side, so 4 plus 1 5. So 5 is already there, so it's not lesser than 5, so we will not update. So this is how we have seen this cell already, right? This cell we have seen. Now we are going to see this cell now, right? For 4 directions. So for 4 directions, when we are going down, then this will be 3 plus 1 4. So we will not update this. 3 is lesser than 4. When we are, so down we have seen. Now when we are going left, if we are like 3 plus 0 3, we will not update. 2 is already smaller than 3, so we will not update. Now up, right? Up. So here we are 3. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So now we will update, right? Because 7 is less than 8. So we will update it with 7. So now we are done with, we have seen all the possible cells, and now we got it 7, right? This one. This is the updated matrix I have given here. So as you can see, we have to just return this cell from this weight matrix, and that will be our answer. So our answer will be 7. So 7 is the minimum sum of this matrix. So this is the approach. So let me show you the details of the implementation here. So as you can see, first we are going to, these are the direction X and direction Y arrays that I define. I'll show you in a minute how we are going to use it. So first we calculated how many rows are there in our matrix, how many columns are there into our matrix, and we have defined a weight matrix 2 by 2 with the same size of the original matrix, right? This weight matrix, and we have assigned it with infinity, means we will use integer max value in the beginning. This is denoting that in infinity, right? So this is the initialization, and we will start with this cell, right? This cell we will start, which is the bottom left cell we will start. So that's what we are doing. So we are assigning with the matrix value of that r1 minus r minus 1 0, means that cell's value we are assigned to our weight here for this cell, because this is our start point. And then we will just call our DFS, right? and DFS will populate our weight matrix. So let's see how the DFS function works. So we are passing the current x value, means the for current x coordinate for current cell, current y coordinate for current cell. Then this array that we are passing is the weight matrix here. The weight matrix we pass, this is the same array here. Um, and then we have the original matrix also we passed here, and then we pass the current sum, right? The current sum we will start with uh, this matrix is passed we, and then the row and then the column we passed, right? So the let me just quickly run this one. Maybe I'm missing something, or no. Okay, so let me just okay. So current x is this one, current y is this one, and then weight matrix and then actual matrix, and this one we are passing as our current sum. So current sum is this point basically. This one is our current sum, which is the last cell, right? So this last cell value. So this one is the we are passing here, and then we are passing number of rows and number of columns, right? Row and column here. So this is our DFS, and we are actually like using this array DP, right? So we will just assign the current x and current y as the current sum that we are passing, right? So for example, we assigned one here, basically this one we assigned in the beginning, right? So that's what we are doing, and then we will simulate that we are going now four directions. So we will use our this direction x and direction y array, and we will read from that array, and we will loop and simulate that we are visiting all the four directions, and we will update our x and y coordinate values of the cell, right? So dx is the new value, dy is the new value after we update with the directions, right? And that dx and dy value we are going to pass into the next DFS here, right? New dx and dy we will pass, means we are visiting the other cell now, the four direction cell. But before we do that, we want to check that we are not going outside of the boundary of the matrix, right? So this is what we are doing here. So we are not uh, going outside of the matrix, right? Not less than 0. So dx cannot be less than 0, or dx cannot be equal to or greater than or equal to number of rows, right? Similarly, dy cannot be less than 0, and dy cannot be greater than or equal to number of columns, right? Otherwise we are out of the matrix, so we cannot do that, right? And we also want to make sure that the DP, means the array position, this weight array basically, right? This weight array that we created, dx and dy, it should be less than the current sum plus the original matrix, right? So as I shown you here, like for example, we are here 3, and um, we want to go, or we are in this cell, right? Let me just highlight and show you what that code is doing. So we are at this cell, and we calculated 3 here already. So if we are visiting on the left side now, then we are here, right? So 3 means we will get a 3 here. So we want to make sure that we already have seen 2 here, right? So we there is no point we are updating that value, right? So that's why we will not visit that cell. So this is what we are doing here. So dp of dx and dy, we only want to go and do the DFS if we are seeing a better sum, right? Means lesser sum or minimum sum, right? Then only we will go there. If we are getting more value than what we had seen, then we will just continue basically, right? We will not do DFS in that case. So that's what this code is doing. So this is a very crucial and important step, where we will not visit any cells if they are not giving us any better result, right? We will only go and visit the cell in that four directions if they are going to give us better result basically. So that's what it is doing, right? If we are seeing which like better result, then we will try to do the DFS again on that cell, right? That's what we will continue here. Then we will pass our new dx here, then new dy here, and we will update our current sum, right, with the matrix, means original matrix dx dy. So original matrix is this, right? Always we take this current sum and we add the sum from the original matrix, right? For example, if we are here and we have seen this 4, right? So when we want to go and take the up direction, then we go and add this 1 into that 4, basically that's how we get 5. So that's what we are doing here. So we are doing current sum plus matrix, means original matrix dx dy, basically. So that's what we will pass it back here again now as a cursum. So this is how recursively we are calling, and we are simulating that we are going in all the 4 directions. Again, for that new cell, again we will simulate that we are going all the 4 directions. So that's what the depth first search do, right? It will go all the way deep, as much as it can, basically. But when it is this one, it will only try to go as deep as it can when it is getting better result, right? That is what this statement checks, that it is getting better sum which is minimum than what we had previously seen. So that's what it is doing. So at the end, we form like our weight matrix will be populated like this, right? This, like this is shown, our weight matrix will be populated. We have to just return this last, like upper right cell, basically. So that's what we are doing here. Weight of 0 c minus 1 means this upper right cell we are returning after we are populating the weight matrix, after the DFS is done, right? Because DFS will go all 4 directions and it will visit all the paths, basically, and it will give us the minimum path, basically, right? Because of this thing. So let's run this code quickly. So as you can see, this is the same example that we took here, right? 124301. So this is the same example I took there. So now as you can see, we get the correct output 7, expected also 7. So we will just submit this code now. So our code is almost 82% on the submissions. So it's pretty good. So this is the way we can solve minimum path sum 2 by using DFS, and with the help of this weight matrix that we will need like a extra matrix of the same size as the original matrix, right? So I hope I already explained you in details how the solution has been done, So in many of the interviews, this kind of a minimum path problem comes, So please practice this problem, This is an important problem. So as I mentioned earlier, I often create lead code solution videos in Java J2E technologies, data structures, algorithm, problem solving using Java, as well as helpful interview preparation material for Java J2E. So if you are a Java developer and planning to do some kind of interviews, so phone interviews, initial screening, or coding interviews, please check out my playlist. It has a lot of good stuff. Also, please subscribe to the channel. If you like, subscription is important to reach to more people. So tell your friends also, and please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching the video.